Good evening, students. It's an immense pleasure to come up with a YouTube video series for the sake of the new entrants in the field of tourism and travel management. Students, as you are aware of, that tourism is an important discipline nowadays and it is most promising career these days. And as far as youngsters are concerned, most of the youngsters are looking their career in this particular field to able to brush up the subject knowledge related to tourism and travel management. There is a subject called tourism concepts or fundamentals of tourism, which we people are conducting in the classroom sessions through online or offline mode. Therefore, I, Amit Tiwari, Assistant Professor at Indian Institute of Tourism and Travel Management, Gwalior, is coming with a new series with 15 minutes of tourism concepts. Here in this series, I shall try to help you on to the numerous subject matters related to conceptuality or the fundamentals of tourism and travel management. Therefore, this will definitely bridge a gap between a learner and teacher's space where you could repeat these videos while learning your own self. So let us start this first type of session. Students, this session is of course for the new entrants and this subject which will be called up by many names in different universities or different programs, mainly at our university and our institute, tourism concept and linkages by the name of MBA tourism program and by the name of the fundamental or introduction to tourism for the BBA students. So as per the requirements of the subject, we shall be able to talk further in the upcoming series. So within this first session, we will talk certain useful things which may be an introduction of the subject, how to deal with the subject, what is the subject is all about, and what all are a kind of advisories, what are do's and don'ts for learning this subject for the betterment of your own career, whether you would like to start a company further or you would like to be an entrepreneur or you are of course going to be a teacher, trainer or an academician. So to understand this subject, it is very important to go to the grassroots to the concept. So, to understand tourism concept or fundamental of tourism, what we need to do. Now, this important question needs to be answered. Point number one, what you need to do is, first of all, since this subject or this subject, according to your program, gives you so much of understanding about the allied subjects because as a graduate or as a 10 plus 2, you may be or may not have an exposure of tourism academics. Therefore, this particular subject or subjects will allow you to understand the different concepts which are new for you. Though these are the certain allied areas which have been a close association with the subject or discipline that you have came with. Therefore, you will definitely find it interesting as well as challenging. So, once you're finding it interesting, that's okay. But once you're finding something challenging, that is absolutely a new way of learning. As far as learning for this subject is concerned, the subject is dealing with the anthropological footprints of the uh, tourism and the history of tourism, and then it deals with the different disciplines by which tourism grown up. So we need now to understand that that is a separate entity, but it is a special entity with the total commitment of the different disciplines altogether. Tourism encompasses with the sociology, tourism encompasses with the economics, it also encompasses with the subjects like geography, history, and so many other subjects. Therefore, what you need to be dealt with, first of all, you need to learn the basic words or the the terms by which you can understand this phenomena easily. Let's say, if I could talk about the term called Grand Tour, or if I could talk about travel through eras, if I could talk about GIT, FIT, or if I could talk about different types and forms of tourism, or even if I could talk about there are different types of models of tourism, or the definition of tourist, tourism, traveler, visitor, etc. So these terms are very important because students, these are scientific terms by the name of their explanation. Therefore, for starting of a subject or to understanding the subject throughout the different eras to the prospect of the academics or students learning or to be an entrepreneur or to be a writer or to be a professional further, we need to understand these terminologies better. Therefore, this subject deals you very importantly, and you have to cope up with the subjects. What you need to careful about this subject have got so much of psychology into it. This subject have so much of economics into it. This subject have got so much of business aspects into it. This subject have got different types of business organizations to be talked about. Therefore, you need to understand a little about tourism as an industrial prospect. So, to covering any business program in the country, whether by the name of MBA or BBA, you can brush up this subject. So I hope this particular session, while talking about what you will have through this subject, definitely help you to do with. Now, it is my duty to tell you what you should not do with this subject. First of all, never ever try to memorize the subject in terms of rectification. There is a theory called rectification. So once you are improvising the concepts, you shall be able to understand it better. Though the definitions can be memorized, but this memorification cannot help you much until you are not clear with the concepts. There are certain things that are related to the concepts further, that is impact. So once you are talking about tourism and its related impacts, there are very important role to be talked about both the environment, the society, and the economy. Now I'm talking about both on each other, environment and ecology, or environment, economy and society, and vice versa. So these are the aspects which we need to understand. And while defining the term tourism, there are 360 ways. So what you need not to do, you must not understand or accept only one way of interpreting the same. Otherwise, you will be confused. And there are certain parameters by which there are the older theories being rejected by the name of newer theories accepted. As far as movement of people is concerned, this is more anthropological. Therefore, it is historic. It is have got historical ways. So you must not argue that whatever it is, X or Y, the opinion, you need to come up with the base of your knowledge, and that will help you for the further learning. What should not be done in this subject, in terms of, do not take the subject a monotonous one, though some of the management subjects are monotonous, but this particular subject is not at all the same. How do you need to read for the masters and the special undergraduate program? As far as masters is concerned, you need to be more elaborative and analytical in terms of this particular subject. How do the tourist comes up? What do the tourist interests? Why, when, how? This kind of interpretation needs to be there. But this should not be restricted up to the level that should be avoided. What should not be done, that meant for it should not be done to the restricted manner. Otherwise, the subject have got so much of relation with the information technology. The subject has so much of relation with geography, history, anthropology. Then we have talked about subject of political science, sociology, languages, and so many other disciplines. Students, whenever we talk about the organizations are not also to be forgotten, because the organization is the more organized version of the ancient footprints of the travelers. So today with the first session, I hope you shall be able to enjoy this, and not only you will enjoy this particular session series, but this series will definitely help you for learning. As per my commitment to all of you in my classes, online or offline. Unfortunately, we couldn't done the offline or the regular classroom sessions nowadays. I had committed you that I will come up with the lot of videos series, because I felt there is a gap between online classes and teachers. So there are some small videos are required, and I'm making this video. This is quite interesting also, and it will help you to come up or to brush up your subject knowledge. So with this commitment, we shall be able to meet you again and with the next video of this series. For the time being, it's a time to say goodbye to you, but try to understand what the subject is all about, what you need to expect from this subject, and what the subject is going to demand from you. Therefore, you need to do something, certain things, you must not to do certain other things as well. Now, it's a time to say good day or good night to you. But before concluding, I need to remind you, we shall be able to talk more apprehensive approach for the students in upcoming some sessions. And then further, we will move and talk about certain important topics also. Till then, do enjoy your studies and do repetitively watch these videos, because these videos have got so much of things, so much of solutions for your learners. Good day for now. See you in the next video session. Till then, namaskar.